Dehancer Pro for Final Cut Pro 2.0 is here. And we got film damage. So let's just jump right into it. Here I am in Final Cut Pro, and I prepared a little clip of me exploring a very cool old town in very rural Japan. Now, just going to grab the Dehancer Pro version 2 plugin, slap it straight on the clip, and let's check out some of the new options. First, not new, but for those who are maybe new to the Dehancer Pro plugin, we've got a whole bunch of film presets here. Got some classics like Vision 3, and some more weird stuff like Lomochrome Purple. It actually does a really good job of emulating purple, and some nice black and white stocks like, for example, Across 100. There you go. But I'm just going to turn this off just to speed up everything else a little bit. So let's head down here, and we can see the first major change with Dehancer Pro version 2, and that is the presets. So for film grain, halation, bloom, and a couple of the things down below we're going to check out, you can now just slap on straight away like 8mm ISO 500 look, super grainy. Or then if you move it up to a 65mm ISO 500, significantly smoother. So you can see it's easy to increase the speed of your workflow by just using these presets. And then further down we've got halation. Let's turn that on. Nice, simple, quite natural halation. No remjet, and now we're catering to the Cinestill fans. But in both these cases and all of the cases below, if you want a bit more control, you can still click on custom, and then you've got all of these options here. Local diffusion go. All right, let's turn that off. Now to the main event of Dehancer Pro version 2, which is film damage. So let's enable that, and then I'm going to go straight to custom so we can get a proper look at all the settings. First up, we got dust. Whack that up the top. You won't really see much because dust is dusty, but it's there. However, if we scale it, then we're going to start to see a bit more dust. And then we've got size balance, and that is basically all small pieces or large pieces, somewhere in the middle, balance between the two. Let's just whack it to the top so we can see what's actually happening. And then down here, we got whites, blacks, and somewhere in between, depending on whether it's a positive or negative, or you just want a whole bunch of grunge on your image. Next one down is hairs. Very similar situation, obviously. Gonna go hairs up, maximum scale up, size balance, just so we can actually see what's going on. Got a whole lot of hairs there. Again, all white, all black, somewhere in the middle, and we can have a look at that hairy image. Let's go down to the next one, which is scratches. Again, I'm just going to whack them way up to over exaggerate what they are, and we can see we've got some nice little scratches happening on the screen here. Let's maybe make it a bit whiter, it's a bit more obvious perhaps. There you go, a scratchy screen. Let's turn all of this back on to have a look at the last couple of options on this section. One, total amount. Now once you've worked out the balance that you want of each one, I've obviously put them all to maximum, but let's say you want a bit less hairs, a bit more dust, not too many scratches. The total amount will bring everything either down or up. So once you've got the balance that you like, instead of recorrecting each one when you want more or less of it, you can just slide this one and it will do the general overall amount on the screen. Next is the global period, and that's kind of the time between frames being similar. So global period 1, every frame is going to be as grimy as the next frame. And then as you go up, it's sort of going to rotate between the state of griminess over 120 instead. Global opacity, pretty obvious, just opacity up and down. And then glow crow is the light that comes through the dust and scratches. And this is quite an interesting one. If you bring it all the way down, it's very much just a white or black overlay. And then if you bring it up, you've actually got some luminosity coming through. We can see especially here, uses your image and then emulates how light would actually pass through film in this situation. It gives it a much more natural look. Now, that's a pretty grimy image, so let's add a little bit of gate weave 8mm to that as well, just to really exaggerate this, and let's have a look at what we've created. And there you go. Obviously, I went overboard to exaggerate all the options, but actually this is also the look that some people will be specifically looking for. So you can do it. Lots of options in the hairs, the scratches, and the dust. Combine it with a gate weave, but a bit more jitter. Combine it with some heavy film grain. You got yourself a pretty grimy looking image. That's what's available in Dehancer Pro 2.0 for Final Cut Pro.
Fresh.
Now, if you fancy picking up Dehancer Pro, either the full plugin available for DaVinci, Adobe Premiere, Final Cut Pro, or any of the standalone plugins, there's Grain, Bloom, Halation as separate plugins. Any of them are available with a 10% discount by using the code Norbi. You save some money and it supports me too. Win-win. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Hope that was interesting and I hope to see you in a future video. Peace.